Alrighty then, we are back. I am cleaning out my fridge, which is something that I've been meaning to do for a very long time. And so yeah, I've decided that today is the day that the fridge gets cleaned out. I've got rice in here from when I ate Chinese food back in September. That's gotta go. I've got this jar of garlic that when is it gonna expire? January of 24. It's still got more time left on it. Not sure when I bought it or what I bought it for. I use garlic periodically, so I guess it's not too traumatic. I got some chicken in here that I made last week. I know that's good. I've got a smoothie that's been in here since I don't even know when. Gonna just go ahead and sit that in the sink and deal with it later. I'm sure it's gonna smell nice and ripe. All right, going back into the fridge. We got some coconut milk. I don't drink coconut milk. I only use it when I make my coconut cream pie. And I haven't made a coconut cream pie since like July maybe. So that's pretty old. All right, back in the fridge we go. Now you guys know why I had to clean it out. I've got this cheesecake pan with what's left of my cheesecake that I made. I think you guys watched me make that. There's not much left there. I will just leave this out. I'll eat it and then clean the pan. All right, who's next up on the chopping block? Here is another box of rice. So I went out to eat. This was in October, so not that long ago, but I went out to eat at Hawaiian Bros. It just opened up and people were talking about it like it was a big deal. I thought it was okay. It wasn't like anything to write home about. But anyway, they served it with rice. And as you guys can see, I don't frequently eat my rice, and I didn't eat my rice that time, and now I'm throwing it out. Refried beans from I don't know when. I can't remember the last time I had refried beans. And so we're just gonna sit this container over here in the sink and we'll deal with that with the rest of my sink slot problems. Whoops, my mic just fell down. Gotta reassess that. I keep hitting this arcade cabinet on my way to and from the fridge, and that hit it just right and knocked it right out of my pocket. All right, ricotta cheese. I only use this when I'm making lasagna, and I haven't made lasagna in months, so I know that's bad. Here's a squeeze bottle of ginger. I wonder when it's best used by. Best used by 12 of 23. I know I'm not gonna be using it before the end of December, so it's gonna go bye-bye too. It's like trick-or-treating, but less exciting. Cheese. I don't know when the last time I needed cheese was. I'm lactose intolerant, so I don't frequently eat cheese. I can tell that this cheese is molding, but I really, just for giggles, wanna see when it actually expired. Oh, cheese. I know you've got to have a date on you somewhere. I can't find the date on the cheese. You guys know where the date... Oh, here it is. January of 2023. That's very bad cheese. I'm surprised it wasn't more moldy than it was, actually. And you know what I think I might do? Oops. I might just clean this fridge out completely and just wipe it down because the shelves look kind of gross. And I feel like the fridge itself smells kind of gross. I should probably get some like air freshener for the fridge. So let's just clean the whole thing out and wipe it down. It's something that's been on my to-do list for a while. Not wiping it down, just cleaning it out because it's filling up, but it's not filling up with food that I actually eat. So I need to clean it out, clean it up, make it look new again. This is my breakfast hash. This is my lunch for all of next week. I hope it lasts that long. Sometimes I do really good and sometimes I do really bad. This is a tomato. I cut up a tomato when I made burgers and it's still on the fridge. That's all I gotta say about that. Another chicken breast that I'm supposed to be eating on for the rest of the week. I might have to make more chicken breasts actually because I've been eating on them more than I anticipated. What is this? Cheese from this cheese platter. I've got tons of cheese from this cheese platter, and at this point I think I'm just gonna throw it away. I'll keep the crackers though. I showed you guys in the previous video what you can do with these rotary board crackers, and turned out really nice actually. So yeah, if you guys are bored and have some rotary board crackers on your hands, you guys can make some peanut butter chocolate covered cracker sandwich things. I need to find a better name for them. Anybody got any names, drop them in the comments, and hopefully one of them is good. Throw that out of here. Rotary board. Ooh, I've got some Yikes-a-roni cream cheese. I don't know if you guys can see that, but it is very, very molded. Very molded cream cheese. I haven't made cheesecake. Well, I made the cheesecake that I showed you guys. That was forever. Well, that was a couple weeks ago. But before that, I can't remember the last cheesecake I made. So that was gross. More moldy shredded cheese, as we discussed already. I don't cheese very often, but despite that, I have tons of cheese in my fridge. Usually whenever I get cheese in the fridge, I try and eat it real quick so that it doesn't get moldy and gross. I can't find a date on this cheese, but it is definitely moldy and gross. I'm just gonna throw it in the bag. And oh, hey, look at that, more shredded cheese. I don't even know what to do with all this shredded cheese I've got. And these are little dipping sauces from the local Mexican joint. I can't remember the last time. Nope, it was May. Cinco de Mayo was the last time I had Mexican food. This is very moldy. Is it yams? I want to say it's squash. I had to use squash. Oh, when I was making, I have a Pokemon cookbook, and when I was making things from that cookbook, one of them required squash. It was like a Dragonite Nochi squash recipe, and that's been in there since then. Oh hey, would you look at this? You guys might recognize this bad boy. This is my pan of chocolate covered, there's only 2 of them left now, chocolate covered cracker peanut butter sandwich things. I was literally just talking about them when I threw out that rotary board. I'm just gonna eat the last 2, and then I can clean that pan and get it back to its home. All right, see what we got looking at here. Blue thing with gross stuff on it. I don't know. I hate to throw it away, but I don't know what it's supposed to be used for. All right, the salad drawers. I buy these pre-made salad kits, and then I frequently forget about them and leave them in my salad drawer. And so I'll probably just throw them all in my backyard because there's no sense in throwing it away. And like if it's a salad, it's just gonna go back into the yard and be good, right? That's how I think about it, at least. So that's what I'll do with those. Very moldy salad. Actually, I think that's supposed to be coleslaw. I don't even know what this is supposed to be coleslaw, but it looks beyond. It looks like mush. I can't even describe it. Gross. I might not put those in my yard. I might just throw them away. I'm a little afraid to even open them up at this point. More cheese. This cheese went bad June of 23. All right. So that's one of the salad drawers down. This salad drawer, I know I just bought the stuff in this salad drawer, so I'm gonna skip it. Get way down to the bottom. What's down here? More nasty salads. I love it. If you guys ever are in the need for nasty salads, look at this one. It's like purple. It is so purple. Can you guys see that? I'm just shoving this stuff in your face. I hope you're not squeamish. Nasty salad stuff. Such is the fridge of a single man. All right, top door here is all butter. I actually go through butter at a pretty healthy rate, so I know I don't need to replace my butter. Soy sauce. How long does soy sauce last? Best by March of 26. That's good. Chocolate syrup, strawberry syrup, I know those are good. Chipotle ranch. I forgot I had this. I wonder, when is it good till? Blah, 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 blah. January of 24, I'll keep it. Barbecue sauce. I don't frequently eat barbecue sauce. This is Kansas City Hickory barbecue sauce. It's expired, but I'm gonna leave it because I like it. I need more ketchup. I need more milk too. Might go to the store after this. March of 24. Ketchup's almost gone, so it doesn't really matter. Coleslaw sauce. Do you call it coleslaw sauce? I don't know. This is good until March of 24. Mayo. I just bought the mayo. That should be fine. I just bought this gravy too, so it should be fine. Where's your expiration date? Oh, there it is. It's September of next year. We're good. Ranch. And then I just bought this. That's June. Applesauce I just bought. This is old half and half. I know it's old half and half. But just for grins, when you were bad back in May of 23, we'll just throw you with the rest of the garbage and then jump back in. Let's see here. Salsa ranch. So these are all like the salad dressings. I was talking about I'm on the salad kick and I eat a lot of salads, and that's where I get all these salad dressings. The salsa ranch was bad in May of 23, which is weird because I feel like I haven't had this for that long, but I'm gonna keep it. If I get sick, you guys know what happened. It was the salsa ranch salad dressing. I don't even know what this is. Some sort of hot and spicy barbecue sauce. I don't know why I have this. Anybody know why I have this? Where's the date? It's almost gone, and I don't plan on eating it anytime soon. It's getting out of here. Bye-bye barbecue sauce. Like I said, I don't really like barbecue sauce. I don't know how I wound up with so much of it. This is a brand new thing of Caesar. I just bought this, so it should be good. I wonder if I can put it up here with the rest of the dressings. Ooh, kind of. All right, mayo. Hey, I got more mayo. I got mayo up there. I've got mayo down here. That's part of the problem. So this mayo expired August of this year. I just bought a brand new thing of mayo, so let's chuck that mayo. I don't like buying condiments because I can't eat them fast enough before they expire. Tomato paste. What did I buy this for? A recipe. Pasta. I made my own pasta sauce. It was good. And this is good until 26. So if I'm still doing weird things like this in 2026, you guys can come back and see that I'll finally throw away this pasta paste. But for now, it's going to stay. Tabasco sauce. I don't use Tabasco sauce very often. This is good until November of 25. All right, now we're reaching down into the things that I have a feeling are going to have to go. Worcestershire sauce. Worcestershire sauce. I don't use Worcestershire sauce very often, but May of 23. This is like a full bottle of Worcestershire sauce too. I bet you I bought it for one recipe and then never used it again. And am I gonna throw it away? I'll keep it for now. All right, this is classic chicken gravy. Classic chicken. It's got some dust on it. That's not a good sign. Classic chicken gravy was bad as of April of 23. It's going bye-bye. All right, how's about coleslaw dressing? Ooh, I fell over. This is bad as of January of 23. That's going bye-bye. Taco sauce, October of 25, that's good to go. Taco sauce, part 2, October of 25, that's good to go. Somebody just invited me on Xbox, but I don't feel like getting up to figure out who that was. Caramel, November of 23. I don't use caramel, and I have that other frustrating bottle of caramel in my house, so I'm gonna throw that out. Caesar, this was gross. This was like supposed to be Caesar dressing. You guys can't even see what I'm doing. This was supposed to be Caesar dressing, and it was like yogurt consistency. It was disgusting. So I don't even care if it's expired or not. I'm throwing it out. I have a strong feeling it's expired though. More coleslaw. As you guys can see, I like making coleslaw, but I've got so much coleslaw in here. That was April of 23. I've got more coleslaw in here than I could have hoped to use. I have a very small amount of prune juice left. I was using that as a cure to my lactose intolerance, and it helped for a while, but this is, oh good lord, it went bad in January of 22, and there's so little left that there's no point in keeping it around. So I'm gonna drain it in the drain and throw it away. Good stuff. All right. My fridge is so much cleaner of a place now. And then I know the milk and stuff at the bottom there I just recently bought, so we're good to go there. I'll probably get a sponge, clean out these shelves here because they all look pretty smudgy and gross, and then I'll load up the fridge again. Feels good to do clean outs like this. I feel like most responsible adults probably do them more often than I do, but it still feels good to do it. That's the nice thing about having an extensive amount of time off. And like a lot of people will plan things when they're off, and I'm honestly like the exact opposite. I don't want to plan things when I'm off because I have so much stuff to do around the house that I finally would have time to do because I'm off. And so like I'll do like every May I take a significant amount of time off, and I'll do like a significant deep clean of the house around that time, and then it'll last until May of the following year when I do it again. And it's just, I don't know, the weird way in which I keep up with my house chores, I guess. I wish I had a bigger bag because this bag is kind of small, and I wanted to double bag it because it put a lot of crap in here. But this other bag that I'm trying to put it in doesn't look like it's gonna do the trick. Well, maybe. I think we're close. Come on, bag. If only all shopping bags were made the same. I think I got it. So this bag of expired grossness is just gonna go straight out to the dump. I'm not even gonna bother throwing it in my trash can. Let's take you guys out to the dump with me, and that'll be an interesting thing for y'all to see. We're gonna exit through my front door, and we'll go out to the dump, throw this away, then I'll get you guys back to your normal scheduled spot, and we can proceed on. Look at that beautiful house. So here's the dump here. I know, it's exciting. I said dump, and you guys probably didn't think I meant just like some boring old trash can, but that's all it is, boring old trash can. I don't know if you guys can see, but my pumpkin, I made a pumpkin, and he's now in the yard fertilizing it. So good job, Mr. Pumpkin. You were awesome. So, all right, close the door, lock it behind me, get us back into view of the fridge. The fridge. Oh no, there's 2 jars that I left behind. No jars left behind. Well, I think I'm gonna have to make several bags worth of stuff anyway, because I had a lot of stuff expire on me. Let's see. Ooh, is that a good camera angle? Can you guys still see me? Not really at all. This is why I set most of the stuff up ahead of time. All right, cool. You can see me, you can see the clock again. Those are my 2 points of excitement. Let's get another bag in here. Start bagging up all of these yucco salads. Yucco salads. Moral of the story, fam, is if you buy salads, you should use them up instead of let them sit in your fridge and explode into nasty moldiness, because nasty moldiness is no good. So, to think about all of the wasted food and money, I saw this funny video this morning about grocery shopping in the modern age, and this girl was like having a small heart attack as she was checking out, and the guy was like playing the role, I'm gonna take you guys out to the dump again with me because I feel like going on adventures is fun. We don't do that very often. But anyway, she was like losing her mind as she was checking out at the grocery store, and the dude at the clerk at the office or whatever was trying to act like a nurse of sorts and be like, oh my gosh, it's okay, you shouldn't panic. It was funny. I did a horrible impression of it and made it not sound funny at all, but I promise you it was funny. Anyway, makes me be like, hey, there's Mr. Pumpkin again. Makes me be like, you know, I should be more responsible with the food that I buy and not just throw it all away. And I'm not throwing it all away, but I'm throwing a good chunk of it away. But it's like a cumulative, you know? It's probably been a good year since I did a deep dive clean of my fridge. How often should I be deep diving cleaning my fridge? Because, you know, I've only been out on my own for so long, and I don't know that I should know all these things as to like have a frequency as to how often I clean out my fridge. All right, let's see. Oh, the half and half jug. Forgot about the half and half jug. Watched the Blue Brothers today because a friend of mine highly suggested that I watched it because he knows I'm a music nut. And I mean, the movie was fun enough, but I didn't like love it by any means. I think it was his like favorite movie of all times. And I always struggle with that because like when people say it's their favorite movie of all time, I want to like it. Like I feel obligated to like it, but I didn't love it. I didn't hate it either. I kind of have that weird relationship with most popular movies. Like if a movie is super popular and the whole world likes it, like I tend to not think that highly of it. I have been trying to rewatch, or not rewatch, but I have been trying to watch a lot of like quote unquote classic films from the 80s. I love the 80s as a decade for music, and so I was like, you know, I should do more in terms of 80s movies as well. And so several months ago I started, because like Netflix had a bunch of old 80s movies on them, or on its program, and so I was like, you know what, let's see what these movies got. Everybody talks about how good they are. Let's see if they hold up to, well, whether or not I think they're any good anyway. And I think the first one I watched was Breakfast Club, and at first I did not like that movie at all. It was a boring pile of garbage. And then you get to like the scene, the confession scene where everybody's talking about why they're in detention or whatever. And that scene like saved the entire movie, and it made like the nonsensical garbage that I had watched up to that point make sense and actually have meaning, and so I could appreciate the whole movie then at that point. And so that was cool. That scene, like I enjoyed that scene so much that I like went back and watched it several times over just because it was like that impactful. Like whenever I come across a movie or a game or any sort of scene like that hits me on that impactful of like an emotional level, I do tend to go back and do that. I'll watch it several times over. It's like I'm chasing the initial high of having seen it for the first time, and like you can never capture that high again, but you can at least somewhat replicate it. And it's the same thing with like music that's really impactful to me. Anything really that's very impactful on an emotional level, I will watch/listen to it somewhat excessively, I guess. But anyway, so yeah, that was the first one I watched. Breakfast Club. It was good. I enjoyed it. Like I said, it wasn't at first. I was like, what is this garbage? And then that scene happened and I was like, oh my gosh, this is incredible. After that, I watched Stand By Me, which I did not like that movie at all. I don't know. It was just a bunch of annoying little kids being annoying little kids and then almost getting killed by almost just as annoying older kids. Yeah, I don't know. It was confusing to me because I didn't know like who the age group for that movie was supposed to be. It follows these middle schoolers, but they're talking about stuff like more mature than what you would want most middle schoolers watching. But because they're middle schoolers, they're not quite old enough to capture like a young adult audience. Like as a young adult, I don't know that I want to watch a bunch of middle schoolers running around doing stuff. And then yeah, it was just confusing, and I did not enjoy it at all. So Stand By Me was poo. And then what did I watch after Stand By Me? Was that Ferris Bueller's Day Off? I know I watched Ferris Bueller's Day Off, and I really enjoyed that one. That was a good one. I don't think this is 80s or not, but I was in a Tom Hanks mood, and so I watched Sleepless in Seattle, and I watched, what was the other movie I watched of his? Sleepless in Seattle. Was it just that one? I watched Forrest Gump, but that was not necessarily part of this. I like Forrest Gump a lot, and I've seen that movie multiple times. But at any rate, I swear there was another Tom Hanks movie on Netflix that I watched when I was going through my Tom Hanks mood, but I can't think of what it was now. So I guess that one movie, Sleepless in Seattle, is going to have to suffice. Gonna restock the fridge with Gatorade while I'm here. So I got the shelves all wiped down. Anyway, still talking about 80s movies. I almost moved on to a different topic for you guys. So yeah, Blues Brothers fit in the moniker of 80s movies. And a buddy of mine was like, you gotta watch it, you gotta watch it. So I watched it, and it was alright. Because I didn't love it, I didn't hate it. I just, as a music person, like, would have rather have just seen Aretha Franklin, James Brown, and whoever else was in that movie just do their thing, rather than watching these goons play blues music. And so that was just kind of like how I felt about that. Like I said, it wasn't awful, it was fun. It wasn't like, and that's what's hard, is like people watch these movies, or people suggest movies and they're like, it's the greatest thing ever. And so like you set your expectations very high, but you also have to like realize that everybody's different. And as you get to know other people and their opinions of movies and whatnot, you'll kind of be able to judge whether or not you'll enjoy it based upon the person suggesting it to you. And that's like the beauty of reviewers. I myself refuse to use reviewers. If I'm going to form an opinion on a piece of art, it will be my own opinion and not that shared by somebody else's. And so I don't really necessarily care what reviewers have to say about a piece of work. I will watch it or experience it for myself and determine from there whether or not it was good, bad, or otherwise. And so it always kind of bothers me when people are like, oh, it got great reviews. I was like, I don't care about its reviews. I really just want to watch the movie for myself and figure out if it's any good. So, because that was like, it was super critically acclaimed. It kept, everybody says it's got the best movie soundtrack of all time. And that seemed a bit much. Like, I don't really know movies like that. There we go. To be like, oh yeah, that movie, hands down, best soundtrack ever. But to the same end, it didn't seem that outstanding. Like, you had musical legends in there like Ray Charles, Aretha Franklin, James Brown performing music, and I'm guessing that's why so many people say that it's so great. But for me, that kind of made it frustrating. Because like I said, as a music person, I would rather have seen those people just doing their thing instead of these Goonie birds known as the Blue Brothers. But it's okay. Can't love them all. Certainly didn't hate it. If I am working from this angle, all you guys are going to see is my back. And I don't want that to be all that you see. That's good. You won't be able to see my face, but I'm sure you guys get enough of my face. I'm gonna peel up these apples, and I'm gonna eat apples throughout the week, and it's gonna be great. I learned this trick from my mama while we was making that homemade apple pie filling, because oops, I don't have any of the fancy apple cutters that they used to have. And so I was trying to figure out, ooh, that was a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. I was trying to figure out how to cut up these apples, and she showed me how to cut up the apples. Ooh. Now I don't know, do I need to cut them one more time or not? Yeah, I'll cut them one more time, why not? I get worried about this knife set that I have because it's really nice, but I'm afraid to use it because I don't want to make it dull. And because then if it's dull, you gotta sharpen it, and that just isn't any fun. So, at any rate, chopping up some apples, making some apples for, I'll eat on these throughout the week for lunch. So, it's always interesting when I have something different to eat on for lunch, like fresh apples, for example. It's not something, normally I just do applesauce, which is fine, but I had some fresh apples left over from this recipe. Ooh, I cut off way too much of that apple core. Oh well. Like honestly, some of these probably don't even need to be cut. It's all good apple. But, ooh, that one's got some yucco in it. Cut the yucco. There we go, perfect. And, so yeah, I got some lemon juice here, also from that recipe. And so I'm gonna sprinkle these apple slices in lemon juice to keep them from turning brown and ugly. And I'm gonna eat on them throughout the week. And that sounds kind of cool. I don't know about y'all, but I'm proud of when I come up with these sorts of things. So let's get everybody nice and lemony. I feel like that's gonna alter the taste of my, that was too lemony. Anyway, I feel like that might alter the taste of my apples, but that's all right. I think I also might have more than 5 apples, and I only got 5 days of the week to make apples for, of course. So I gotta figure out what I'm gonna do with the rest of my apples, because I can't really fit more than 5 apples in that container. So there's no point in putting more than 5 apples in there because they won't fit. Anyway, I'll cross that bridge when I come to it. Going back to my previous movie conversation, I tend to enjoy movies that get lesser attention or lesser appreciation, and that's a very hipstery thing to say. And if you want to call me a hipster for it, that's fine, I respect that. But I mean, that's just always been the way that I am. And like, you could say that I am like the truest of hipsters, and that I form hipster opinions on my own without doing it just to be a hipster. But I don't know, these huge, gorgeous, critically acclaimed films that everybody's just like, oh my gosh, the greatest thing ever. I'm just sitting over here like, is it though? Like, I thought it was pretty basic. Like, everybody made over that Blue People Avatar movie, and I thought it was basically just Pocahontas with aliens. And like, I say that to some people, and some people are like, wow, like I never thought about that way. And other people were like, oh my gosh, you're an idiot. And I'm just like, whatever, it's just a movie. But anywho, it's interesting how widely people's appreciation for the arts varies, and how we can have these films or songs or whatever they might be that the whole world just recognizes as beautiful pieces of art, and then but it's like, but why is this something that is impactful for the entire world and not just something that's just a movie? Like, why did Blues Brothers stick out as a major piece of art as opposed to some other musical film that came out around the same time? Because like, obviously it's not completely fair to compare movies of different time frames because technology changes and all that, but like, I still feel like that's still a fair comparison to make, because like, yes, technologies change, but you can still respect the movie for what it was when it came out. Like, scary movies, generally speaking, are the ones that are biggest, that take the biggest hit when you have limited technology. But like, you have John Carpenter's The Thing or the original Halloween, which I feel like both of those stand the test of time against most present day films. And they had a minimal budget, especially Halloween had a minimal budget with minimal effects. The Thing had like masterful practical effects, and that's one of the biggest reasons why it's such a big deal. But it's just interesting that you can have these films with these massive budgets that the whole world's like, oh my gosh, it's great. And then you have other films with no budget and the whole world's like, oh my gosh, it's great. So it's like, it's not necessarily a budget thing. Like, it feels like the more money you have, the better film you can make. But that's not necessarily the case. Does it come down to resourcefulness, one's ability to be creative and create movies outside the box? Like, I don't know. There is a whole multitude of things that go into movies, and I am not really a movie person, so like, to be sitting here talking to you guys about movies is kind of not really my thing. And so it's just interesting. But like, talk about music, talk about writing, storytelling, anything like that, and I can talk to you guys for days on that. But movies is a very uncomfortable field for me. I just don't generally enjoy sitting down and doing anything for several hours at a time. And so like, movies are especially difficult because of that. And it is interesting because like, TV shows, for example, I'm usually more liable to be able to sit down and watch a TV show for an extended period of time. But that is because like, I have a false sense of accomplishment when I do it. Like, to watch 2 hours of a single movie feels like I just spent 2 hours experiencing something, the same thing, for 2 hours, and that just feels exhausting after a while. Like Blues Brothers, towards the end, I was like, okay, this movie's too long. But I could watch just about the same length worth of TV and not have the same effect. And it's like, why is that? Why does my brain think it's okay to watch 2 hours of TV and not think it's okay to watch 2 hours of a movie? And I think it's because with TV shows, your brain is given a false sense of accomplishment, if you will, in the sense of you can see like the episodes counting down and you're getting closer to whatever your goal is, whether it be finishing out the season, finishing out the show. But it gives you a false sense of completion. It's like, okay, we're getting somewhere. We're getting close to being able to do X, Y, and Z, or we're getting close to the end, or we're getting close to solving this mystery. And because of that, it almost kind of tricks your mind into thinking that you have accomplished something great, when in reality you've just sat and watched 2 hours worth of TV, just the same as you would have done if you were watching a movie. And so it's interesting to me how those two are more or less the same thing, but also different. And it is interesting, like, the impacts of different forms of film, because like, I write several different things, and each thing that I write kind of comes with its own expectation. Like, I have a vision of where that thing could end up in the future. It could either be a movie, it could be a TV show, it could be an anime, it could be a whatever, but I always have an idea of it. And so it's like, in my mind, those two mediums serve a different purpose from each other. Because like, the book I'm working on right now, My Brother Kanan, I feel like it would translate very well into a film, but I acknowledge that it would not translate very well into a TV show. And it's like, okay, why is that? And I think it's because the format of the story that's told is more of like a singular, long-standing story, and not something that does well if drug on for a long period of time. But then I have the Healer Saga, which I want to turn into an anime, which isn't that far off from just a traditional TV show. It's just animated instead of acted out by normal people. And but so like, why does that feel like it translates so well into an anime format? And I think that is largely due in part to the fact that it feels like each chapter is its own condensed episode that is working towards a bigger goal. And that's why it works so well. But then I have my first book, The Expedition of Hope, and that book, in my mind, would make a wonderful TV show. And it's like, okay, so why does that book work as a TV show rather than as an anime or rather than as a movie? And I think once again, it's because each condensed chapter feels like its own little episode. And it's about pacing, it's about the overall storytelling capabilities of the storyteller, and a whole multitude of things. It's just interesting to me as I create these projects and as I bring them to life, how I come to these realizations of these projects, and like where I feel like they belong in their future. I am out of lemon juice, so that was perfect. I didn't have anything else to use it with anyway. I might have made some lemonade with it, but that's okay. It will hopefully keep my apples from turning brown and ugly while they sit in the fridge and wait for me to consume them. But we will see about that. So yeah, this has been a little weird thing. I grabbed you guys to watch me clean out my fridge, and then I had you guys watch me chop up some apples. I'm going to clean out these gross containers of moldy food, but I'm not going to make you guys watch that because I think it's going to be rather gross. And maybe gross is what you want. Maybe you guys are like, no, we want to see the moldy food. And I made a grave mistake in cleaning out the moldy food and not letting you watch. But for me right now, it's been, shoot, how long? It's been 42 minutes. I think we've spent enough time together. I'm going to do the moldy food by myself. And if you guys are really missing out on the moldy food, let me know. And I'll let some food mold in my fridge again so we can do this again next time. All right, bye.